this. She got a lot of heat and a lot of people pushed back on social media. And we will get into everything that everyone has said um, right now, but let's just get to what Tamara has then said in response. She got a lot of heat, and her social media response is as follows. Again, there's so much out there. So just if you haven't read all this, just listen to this. Tamara says, I started, and it's on her Instagram, I started therapy because this year had been really hard on me. So she says she started therapy. So that doesn't seem like she's known this psychiatrist forever. I started therapy because this year had been really hard on me. I started feeling really insecure. I was having intrusive thoughts and I didn't want to leave my house unless I had to. Girlfriend joined the club. That's why Sarah Fraser and I are doing a We Don't Want to Leave Our House pajama tour on October 29th, Halloween edition. Dress up, bring your questions. I can't plead the fifth, either can Sarah. And by the way, last time I tried to plead the fifth, and Sarah actually called me on it and said, that's a watered down bullshit answer. You're trying to avoid a drama answer. Give us the real answer. So she don't want to leave her house. I even considered just being admitted into a mental health facility. Uh-huh. In my conversations with my therapist, who I've known for years. So, okay, we have a little bit of a dichotomy here, a little bit of a, but okay, so you've known the therapist for years. Well, I know a lot of therapists, okay? But you just started therapy. So basically, you just started therapy, even though you've known the therapist for years. Who cares if you've known the therapist for years? You've just started therapy. And by the way, I'm not even so sure that you should be going to a therapist that you've known for years. If I wanted to go to one of my friends for my therapist, and I know a lot of therapists, I think they would say, we will not be seeing you, sweetheart, David, darling. You will be going to some other person who we will recommend, and we want to know nothing about it because you are our friend, and therefore we can't properly treat you. So right here, not to be in the weeds, but I got a problem with this. She has known the therapist forever, but she just started therapy. You shouldn't go to someone you've known. Let me just put it that way. We talked about a lot over the course of 2 hours. So, okay, so you for 2 hours talk to this person for the first time or just started therapy, and here's their diagnosis. You've got to be kidding me. Okay, you've got to be kidding me. And you want to know why I have issues with therapy? You want to know why? Okay, now you're starting to see why. And she told me many of the things about me, like how I process information, my sensory issues, my social anxiety, my aversion to eye contact with new people, my not wanting to be out of my routine, were all signs of being on the spectrum. It sounds, I hate to break it to you, like you just Googled the same shit that I Googled and you just regurgitated the same list of what it means to be on the spectrum, right? I mean, those things I just read to you are exactly what I just told you comes up with the Google search of on the spectrum. So I don't think the therapist told you that. I think you Googled it. And now that you've gotten backlash, you want to put this out in your response. That's just what I'm saying. I mean, isn't that what I just said? Sensory issues, social anxiety, aversion to eye contact. Yeah, these are the things that come up if you Google them. All signs of me being on the spectrum. Now, on the spectrum is such a broad term. Yes, it is, Tamara. I don't really understand it fully, and my therapist told me more evaluation was needed. Okay, well, then why did you? I know what she said. It just happened right away, and she was so shaken, she says, and it was just after a session, and she didn't know what to do. And she thought, this is what Tamara said to us in the blogs and interviews. She didn't think she should blurt it out, but she just did. Well, not really. Not if your therapist tells you need more evaluation. Why are you saying this? You wanted a moment, girl. But when I sat down at the mic to record my podcast 15 minutes later, and my head was spinning from what she had said, I had no time to process things or even talk to my family. So, okay, you're even more of an issue. You're making an announcement to Teodoro Melonball and the whole world rather than Eddie and your mom. I mean, I guess in your kids. I was late. I was just back at work and I was so emotional. I just blurted it out. Now, I never missed an episode, but I mean, if really you're that emotional, you can call in sick for the day, girl. Where's Erica Jane? Calling Erica Jane. Afterwards, my instinct was to have it removed, but I'm used to being so open with everything in my life. I thought against it. Now I wish I had. I just want to take people through the journey with me, as I've always done. But I realize now I spoke too soon publicly, and that processing this with such onslaught of negative comments has been horrible. So she's getting the negative comments. It's very bad for her. I mean, again, last year after Louis misbehaved, this Louis Aurelius. He yelled at Teresa's podcast co-host at BravoCom, and Tamara knew about it, and Tamara talked about it on 2Ts. And that's one of the main reasons that Teresa misgiudice. That's one of the main reasons why she hates Tamara. And there you go. So my point, I don't know what my point is. But after his instinct was to have her removed, I always done. Well, I mean, you had that removed from your podcast after she came after you. You spoke too soon. Negative comments have been horrible. So what happened is last year with this whole podcast thing, the tree huggers came after her. David Yontef can handle the tree huggers. You guys come after me. I tell you to fuck off. I block you. I don't care. It doesn't matter. But Tamara got really upset. You guys did a number on the rat. You huggers, you stumps, you little stumps in the street. So that's why the stumps don't bother me anymore. I mean, you can come after me. You could come after me today. Come on. But the stumps got so bored of coming after me because like I don't give a fuck. They've moved on. Never come after me anymore. I'm almost like offended. Or I mean, I probably blocked all the stumperinos. So ain't nothing, ain't no, they still listen to the podcast, of course. You know what? For all I know, they all come after me every day because I blocked them all. So, I mean, I don't know the difference. But she had a problem with that. So apparently the rat that scurries can dish it out, but she cannot take it. So Kelly Dodd accused her of that recently, and Kelly Dodd was right. If you know me, you know I don't like to look weak or play the victim. I also hate labels just as much as I hate excuses. But I'm working on myself, not a TV show. Well, I would beg to differ on that. To be a better person for me and my people around me. So she's saying all of that. She's not working on being a better person. Not at all. Not at all, right? I mean, do you think she's trying to be a better person, guys? I don't think so. So you got horrible comments, and now you're like worried. That's really what it is. This isn't some storyline, it's my real life. Well, I mean, it's a little bit of both. I have past trauma that is deep and painful. Now, this, I just want to pause for a minute. What? Like, what is your past trauma that is deep? I mean, you've just shared that you're on the spectrum. So, what past trauma is deep and painful? Like, I really, truly want to know, like, what is it? What is the past trauma that's deep and painful? Let us know, girl. Let us know. Right. And, there are people who have lost children. There are mothers and fathers who have lost children. That's past trauma that you're trying to work through. I'm not justifying killing your parents, but like, Eric and Lyle Menendez, when they are in a house being sexually abused by their father, uh, being abused by their father, that is past trauma. There's past trauma out there. There's past trauma that's actually really out there, but I don't understand what Tamara's is. I'm open to hearing about it. Like, what is your past trauma? I'm not even trying to belittle her past trauma. I just don't understand what this means because I mean, you say you're so open. You've been on the damn show for 14 seasons. 14, she is the longest running. Do you know at this point that Bador has almost as many seasons as that annoyance that is Vicki? Vicki has 13 seasons under her, and Shannon has 10. So Shannon is close. This was the season of Shannon. She's closely catching up to Vicki, but the rat that scurries